Aloha, friends and neighbors. Raleigh Frost here, Kona astrologer. We're going to do the first week in March in the sky mirror for you first. Then I got some interesting things to share, something completely different. So let's see where you're at. You've had a new moon. A prior new moon was in Capricorn, squared Uranus. So, it's kind of buzzy and jerky, and Uranus is still misbehaving, electrical problems, stuff like that. So there'll be another new moon coming up that'll take you out of that shaky, electrical, insecure month due to that new moon. When there's a new moon in Aquarius, which comes up in a little more than 10 days for you. So you're still in it. You can still get quaky and have weird sudden things on your cell phone. This is not a drill. What else is going on in your world? Well, here's Mars squaring Venus. Here's Romeo and is in trouble with Juliet. They're not getting along. Here's your brother and your sister, and they're in square, they're in tension, they can't, so you might feel kind of sexy and romantic, but it's a false feeling, and it's just going to get you in trouble. The sun squaring Mars, especially towards the end of next week for you, a week from where you're at now, the sun's going to square Mars. It's like father comes along and says, "Hey, brother, will you stop beating up on sister there?" Anyway, brother straightens out. Mars trines Uranus later. But basically, at the end of next week, Mercury and Venus square Saturn at the end of the week. And gosh, it could be a little depressive for speech and kids and pleasure for a while. However, the good news is Jupiter is stationing. Jupiter stops in the sky on the 9th and goes retrograde. See how I draw him? Ha ha ha. Jupiter, the crescent of the moon, they call a soul. They don't know what that is. It's actually fleshed beings, personality, a face. So this is fleshed beings over the cross of matter. So this is lawyers and professors and people of liberal bent who put people first, before money and physical goods. Now you notice this is just the opposite from Saturn, which is the cross of matter over the crescent of flesh. So Saturn people put money and physical stuff before people's feelings and before the flesh. Opposite is Jupiter. Saturn's the judge. Give me the money, go to jail. Jupiter is the lawyer. Says, you've injured this person, Well, anyway, when Jupiter stops, it can be quite nice. Now, this is going to peak out for you. Well, let's go back to here. Here's Jupiter. It's at 23 Scorpio. Stations on the 9th. Well, you see, when we run the sky mirror, the moon is moving around here. The moon goes through, a couple of days and goes through a whole sign in 2.5 days, really. So here it starts Monday, you can see, with nice trine. Look at all the trines and sextiles. And here's Jupiter, Tuesday night. Yep, Tuesday night, March 6th, late. These are 2 a.m., midnight, 10 p.m. roughly. The moon is going to go by Jupiter. Yes. And this stuff is going to peak out. What's going to peak out? Well, here's a partial list. Jupiter is the great benefic. Venus the lesser benefic. Saturn's the great malefic, the bad guy. And Mars the lesser malefic. That's the old style astrology for 10,000 years. We got to add Uranus and Neptune now, but never mind that. Here's Jupiter. I watched him carefully for a long time. When Jupiter stops, everybody gets so optimistic. They sell their gold stash. They don't need their safety stash, and the price of gold goes down. When Saturn stops, people get pessimistic. Jupiter's people get pessimistic when Saturn stops, and they hoard gold because of safety concerns, and the price of gold goes up. So I did some serious economic study, 20 days of, optimism. And you are really going to feel it Tuesday night, but you'll start feeling it Monday. As soon as the moon goes into Scorpio, you wake up Monday, the March 5th, bang, you'll be grinning, they'll be clowning around, there'll be more laughing, there'll be more optimism, expansion, laughing and clowning. Jupiter likes that sort of thing. You know, the lawyers and professors, they clown around a lot. They joke a lot. And what Jupiter really likes, this is, here's rain and thunder and lightning. You know why? Because this is Jove, Jupiter, Shock, the rain god in South America, and Jupiter, Ganesha, the great elephant. Jupiter is elephants. So when Jupiter stops, there should be a lot of news about elephants. Anyway, these lightning bolts are lightning bolts of truth. So the lawyer, the lawyer says, da-da, and the jury, in a lightning bolt of truth. And the jury says, oh, now I see it clear. Oh, aha, now I see it clearly. Yeah? The professor says, da-da, and throws his lightning bolt of truth. And the students say, oh, now I understand. That's what Jupiter does. That's what Jupiter loves. You're going to see a lot of that for 2.5 days at least as the moon goes through Scorpio. It'll go halfway through Wednesday while the moon's still in Scorpio. Let's look at it day by day. The start of your week, okay? I'm going to run the moon around our planetary pattern. Now what's noticeable when you look at it is Jupiter's trining the sun. At the end of next week for you, the sun will be at 22 Pisces, trining Jupiter at 23 Scorpio. So a lot of it will be really nice about then. But the station is important. That's when it's strongest. And the station's on the 9th right here, and the moon goes by it right here just a couple days earlier. So we're going to have a lot of Jupiter stuff going on. Remember the song I showed you a few shows ago? Clowns on the right, jokers on the left. Clowns are Jupiter. Well, as the moon goes around the edge, it makes patterns, squares and trines to this pattern, and we get the mood of the times. It's not your mood, but it's a generic mood, okay? If you're with a big group of people, you'll see it more clear. And here Thursday morning, there's a full moon. It's at 11 Virgo, so this full moon opposes Neptune. You're not going to like Neptune and liquids and Dr. Priest artists and ocean stuff will be a little exaggerated for a month following yesterday for you on March 1st. That full moon is a kind of questionable full moon. Anyway, there it is, that Thursday afternoon, and about dinner time, the moon opposes Neptune. And, you may have some questions about some of your beliefs. And you sure won't like it if people drink Thursday night. No. Friday isn't too much better. The moon's still in Virgo. You're still feeling that full moon. No more Neptune for me. Good time to quit alcohol. Have a little kava at night or something. Anyway, Friday starts in a funny way because here's the sextile to Jupiter and the trine to Pluto. And so there's discovery starts with discovery real early at breakfast. Here's the trine to Pluto. And then what pops in? Mars and Venus squabbling, the lovers, and Mercury, loud discussions. They're having an argument. Romeo and Juliet. It's about love, and it's about all that. Anyway, don't let it get in the way of your discovery. The aha, when the moon sextiles Jupiter, is right here. That's just about lunchtime. And you notice if you look at these little tick marks kind of careful, I try to make them accurate now. I'm doing them with a pen. Is that the blue tick is a sextile to Jupiter. Aha, now I see it clear. Optimism. And then here is the opposition to Venus. Too bad, no sweets, no pleasure, no rest, but you had discovery on Friday, didn't you? Even though there was squabbling and try and keep, Romeo and Juliet out of your discovery. Friday night late is 9, 10 o'clock. The moon shifts into Libra. All the vibes change. Saturday, you're mostly having a problem with Saturn. In the middle of Saturday, here about lunchtime, the moon squares Saturn. It's a little depressive. Not enough time, enough money. What did all those politicians do? You won't like management. That's Saturn. Feel a little Scrooge-like. It's normal. The feeling continues through Sunday. Sunday, in the middle of the day, the moon squares Pluto. Is a little panicky. Just a little panicky. This is not a drill. For years I called it eek, a bug. You know how I got arachnophobia, but when I see a spider crawling along, it's like seeing a policeman in your rearview mirror. Eek! So that's Pluto stuff in the middle of Sunday. But there is a nice sextile to Mars just after lunch here. You can get some physical stuff done. Young men are out. There's heroes. There's sports. This is a good time for sports. Glitchy. Remember now, the new moon squared Uranus from Capricorn. And here now the moon is opposing Uranus. So Sunday afternoon and at night, I just call it quakey. And you could have electrical problems and earthquakes. And parts of the world could even see some twisties and twirlies. So this is unsettling. And the Aquarian spirit doesn't feel so hot. And twist the plugs. It's usually in the plugs. Car doesn't start. It's probably where the battery connects. Get a rock and hit the battery terminal, and you can jar that connection, and your car will start again. Monday, the moon's in Scorpio. Feels a lot different. You're in the Jupiter zone. Ha ha ha! It's going to be funnier. It's going to be more optimistic. Here's a sextile to Saturn. This is just around dinner time. Monday night, March 5th. And you kind of got organized. The time, the money. I got the bills paid. Feeling good. I got some extra. Tuesday morning, here's the moon trining Neptune. Here's some dreams. Here's some music. Here's some play and partying. Feeling pretty good, huh? Here's a trine to the sun Tuesday. I got a plan. I got projects. I got organized Monday, inspired Tuesday morning, started my plan and progress Tuesday in the middle of the day, and here's a nice sextile to Pluto. I'm in the aha zone. First comes discovery. Pluto comes first, And then here comes Jupiter. Aha! Now I see it clear. So that's your Tuesday. First is discovery about dinner time. So you got to get into this. You don't see this very often. Jupiter stops and the moon goes by. So this is nice. So, don't plan anything else Tuesday night. Look for discovery and new knowledge and new understanding. There'll be sweets Wednesday. You can see the sextile or the trine to Venus and Mercury. Sweet talk. The sisters are doing well. It feels loving and sexy. In a nice, easy way Wednesday in the middle of the day. Wow, what a nice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, huh? Nice to be able to report a series of days like this that are really nice for you. And for everybody. This stuff is world over, Everybody in the world feels this way. Even the dogs and the cats and the birds will be chirping when the moon hits Jupiter, and they all get happy and optimistic. So this is a happy time. Thursday, the moon's in Sagittarius, and in the afternoon it squares Neptune. Music's too loud. There's some bad smells. Loss of faith. Confusion. That's what it is. Things got lost. Friday, you're still feeling it, but starting to get impatient. The moon's in the Mars zone here Friday. Oops. Watch the screen, Frost. So the Mars hit. It's right about there. It's actually in the afternoon of Friday, March 9th. You hit the Mars. Get some physical work done, especially on all those electrics and electronics and motors and things that spin and cars, and because Uranus is trining Mars here. Mars has a super good mechanical electrical. If you need to solve some problems involving electricity, this is a good time to do it. Work on it Friday. You'll have success. May not be recognized too well, because at the same time, that there's a square to the sun that's almost minor, but that's at 22. That's right here. Friday before lunch. The moon stays in Sagittarius through most of Friday night, changes into Capricorn here about 10 o'clock, and all the vibes change again. On Saturday, the moon in Capricorn is squaring Venus, and you're out of the comfort zone, and the girls in the suites are not feeling good about stuff, and the moon's coming up on Saturn. It's squaring Venus and Mercury. The kids are depressed. The pretty girls are depressed. Everybody's depressed. It's not enough money for the kids and the ones you love. No. And you'll feel that pretty strong when the moon goes by Saturn, which is around dinner time on the 10th. Just the opposite. Well, of course, Jupiter stopped on the 9th, but the moon went by Jupiter, remember, Tuesday night. So here Saturday night, you're going to experience Saturn. Jupiter is optimism, Saturn is pessimism. They used to call this manic depressive because Jupiter can be a little manic. He can laugh too loud and clown around and be a little bit of a maniac. Manic. Depressive is Saturn. Scrooge comes up. Pay it. Stay inside the lines. So here you got manic Tuesday night, depressed Saturday night. Stay home Saturday night or do something very conservative, because communication, transportation, and pleasure are very limited. Sunday you'll still be feeling that way. Moon's still in Capricorn, but you're going towards discovery. There's another moment when Jupiter's going to pop out there, because Jupiter is sextiling Pluto, right? And here the moon's going by Pluto. It's Sunday at dinner time, and thereafter the discovery happens first. Moon goes by Pluto. Oh, there's something new. I never heard that before. Sherlock Holmes said, the investigators, the discovery happens, and then here's Jupiter. It's about 9, 10 o'clock, the sextile to Jupiter. Jupiter just stopped 2 days before this, so this could be a major hit of wisdom and discovery here Sunday night. Optimism, laughing. Ha 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 ha. That's nice. That's the way it is on this joking, clowning around week. First week in March 2018.